There's only a couple different brackets when it comes to dating. You're either the young dude, in which case you need to watch this video so you can understand these concepts to be ahead of the curve, or you're probably around my age demographic, somewhere between 25 to like 40-ish, in which case as you've been maturing, the concerning issue of age and maturity, as you most likely want to date younger women, is starting to become more concerning to you. Or you're the dude who's like 40, 50, 60 plus, in which case you're probably wondering, is it too late for me? Can I still get the kind of women that I've always been attracted to? So regardless of which bracket you're in, I want to break down what you need to do because it's actually similar concepts, just a slightly different dynamic for each age range. But before I get into those things, I want to explain to you guys the theory about like what are women actually attracted to. Because when I was younger, my perspective in my 20s, it wasn't the same as I came into my 30s, and now I'm about to be 35 years old. So my perspective has changed on these concepts. The thing you need to understand is like women are actually attracted to a dude who's experienced, has some level of leadership skills, right? He can lead and guide the woman. He is confident in himself. He's resourceful. She needs to be admiring him to some extent. She needs to have some level of respect for him. He also needs to be able to protect and provide for her. And also, there needs to be at least a minimum threshold of physical attractiveness. Okay, so it's your frame, it's your appearance, it's your confidence, it's your leadership skills, it's the way you can protect and provide for the woman. All of these characteristics will indicate to the girl that you are a suitable mate for the woman. And that's what she's attracted to. All right, so when we start to understand those concepts, we can see that any dude, regardless of which bracket you're in, you have the potential to possess those qualities. All right, so let's go through and break these down. And I'll show you guys what you actually need to do depending on where you're at or which bracket you may be approaching. So the young dude, really his biggest problem is gonna be, you're too young for me. Like he gives off, the dudes that struggle that are at a young age, they give off very immature, young, little boy type vibes. Right? And that's gonna be from their appearance. Like you look extremely youthful, like I think the word is prepubescent, like you're barely hitting puberty type thing. And it's also the way that you're interacting. So you come from a very, you give off inexperienced and unconfidence, lacking certainty, no idea of the world or women kind of a vibe, which is much different than what the older dude most likely is giving off, and even that guy that's in the middle bracket. But the younger dude, I would tell him, like, bro, you're gonna need to work on becoming more mature looking, more confident, put on more muscle mass. I remember before I ever grew a beard, I looked like a fucking baby. Even right now, if I shave my face, I look like a straight baby. And so what I've seen a lot of dudes do is they actually grow out their beards. They even put minoxidil on their face to help provoke new hair growth. That's what I did. I didn't even have a beard till I was 30 years old, until I started putting minoxidil on my face. I actually grew a beard from that. And I was always hitting the gym, but if you take a dude who looks like a baby, no facial hair, acts like a baby, like very weak voice, very unconfident, lacking certainty, and even lacking some level of muscle mass, like he's gonna give off little boy vibes, right? And it's not any one element, it's the collective sum of these things. That dude, his sticking point isn't gonna be that he's not attractive enough, not in the same way that the older dude is, but it's a different type of unattractiveness, right? And that's little boy vibes. So if you're that guy, you need to start to assess the way you're communicating with women, your lack of experience with women potentially. Like you're gonna have to study the theory and get out there and start dating to some extent. And also you're gonna need to work on your appearance to make yourself stop looking like a 17-year-old if that's you. All right, that's not everybody that's in that younger bracket, but one way or another, I see dudes that are in that first category, that they're lacking some of these attributes. Okay, let's move into the middle category and then we'll get into the oldest one, because I think that's probably where most of you guys are at in this video. So the problem with me was that when I was in my mid to late 20s, I started to think that me getting older was a problem, right? I thought it was all about the age gap. I didn't realize it was more about the characteristics that I was mentioning earlier in this video. I thought it was more about the number itself, like on paper, and that age gap was gonna be a massive deal breaker. But really, it has nothing to do with that number specifically. It has everything to do with the characteristics, meaning the confidence, the experience, the ability to lead the woman properly, the ability to have certainty in yourself, to be wise, right? So the way that I failed this massively when I was like 27, 28, 29, as I started to go out and continue to interact with and try to date the younger women, was I legitimately thought I was too old. I thought I was too old at 28, 29. I thought I was too old more at those ages than I do at 34, going into 35, right? And so ironically, I got tested a lot more at 27, 28, 29 about my age and my uncertainty than I do at my current age. And it has everything to do with my confidence level and my frame. The dude who's in the middle bracket, it's not gonna be so much your appearance, because as long as you're taking care of yourself somewhat, if you're between 25 and 35, you're most likely not gonna appear too old. If you're looking really old at those ages, you need to start looking into taking care more of your appearance, because it's going to increasingly become more and more of a problem if you're trying to date those types of younger women. So the dude in the middle age bracket, his biggest problem is his frame and his confidence when it comes to handling the age objection or the topic of conversation. It's not even an objection. You guys turn it into an objection though, and that was my problem. I would go out when I was 28, 29, and I was going to these bars and stuff, or dating women, and I was always in my head, I was worried that they were gonna ask me how old I was, which is honestly comical to even think about at this point. But I was worried that they were gonna ask me how old I am. And so I would always kind of avoid the question until they brought it up. And then I would respond in this weak, weird, insecure, uncertain in myself type of an answer. And that's the biggest mistake I see dudes making when it comes to this sticking point about being older than the girl, is you present a frame that indicates you're at a lower position than the girl due to your age. When really, as a man, if you're building, if you're gaining experience, if you're becoming more resourceful, if you're becoming a better leader, and you're wiser, and you're making more money, which is all the things I teach in my channels and in my programs about how to build yourself up as a dude. If you're doing those things, you should be going up and up and up. It's not like we get older and then everything goes to shit. I am a lot more confident, experienced, making more money, wiser, more educated, better leader than I was at 24. I could communicate more emotionally at 34. Like, all of these attributes have gone up massively. When I was 24, I was worried about being 34, and oh my God, I'm gonna be like this washed up old grandpa. At 34, I look better than at 24. I'll show you guys me at 24, and I'll show you me at 34. I look better. It's like I'm getting better and better and better as I get older. And honestly, I'm feeling like at 38 or even 44 or even 50, I'm gonna be more confident, because I'm just gonna keep building these things, and I can maintain my youthfulness. I won't look like I'm 20 when I'm 50, but I will know how to still interact and maintain youthfulness and dress properly, and I'll have an even more extravagant lifestyle at that point, because I have another 15 years to build myself up. So as a dude who's in that middle bracket, dude, it's all about the way you handle the frame of the interaction. Don't be afraid to state to the girl how old you are. Instead, what I would actually recommend is you give the girl a little bit of shit. You tease her on how young she is. Don't wait for her to say, how old are you? And then you're insecure about your age. This goes for my older guys too. Even if you're 40, 50, 60, don't wait until she asks your age and then you're all closed off and embarrassed that you're like revealing this insecurity to the girl. I hope you still like me. I figured you're not gonna like me. Do you approve that I'm this age? Right? Like, that was my problem. And the girls, this was me at 28, 29, and they would ask me how old I was, and then I would be embarrassed about my age, and then they would respond to that energy. They would respond to that uncertainty. They would respond to that weakness that I would display with my age. And this goes for every topic of conversation, by the way. This is not just for age. You could reveal any insecurity to a woman, insecurity, in a weak way, or you could display those characteristics in a way where you've accepted it, you're cool with it, it's not an embarrassing thing to you. And in fact, maybe you're proud of the thing. Maybe you're prideful of the thing because it actually shaped you into the person you've become at this point, right? But that takes time. You got to work through those things. You're not just going to watch this video and suddenly you're proud. Like, if you're genuinely insecure about your age, you're going to need to go out and practice these concepts to get new evidence supporting this other side. Okay. So as a dude in these middle and upper brackets, man, you're going to have to put in more work. Honestly, and you're gonna have to start to see women as you get more and more experience. You have to see, like, what am I so afraid of? Why am I afraid of a 25-year-old woman judging me for being 35, 45? Why? What's the problem? Understand that you could still possess the characteristics that make you attractive to these women. And if you treat them from the right frame, if you interact with them from the right position in the interaction, they will actually fall into the frame. Don't wait for the girl to present a frame that you're too old and then you act weak and uncertain and crumble into that thing. That was exactly where I went wrong. I said, yeah, I'm 29. What? You're 20? I know, like, I don't, what are you doing here still? Shouldn't you have like a family? I was like, yeah, I don't know. That uncertainty just kind of like loses all the attraction. Instead, for my middle to older guys, I would recommend you present a different frame first. Don't wait till she asks you how old you are and then you act weird and insecure and crumble on some grandpa frame type shit. Before that happens, you need to tease her or playfully not take her shit and maybe even imply at some point that she's like, you know, very young, or like, you know, that she's like a little silly little young 20-year-old, because she is, bro. She is. Understand that. And she knows she is. So if you're intimidated by the 25-year-old, dude, you're fucked, because she knows that you're intimidated by her. But if you're kind of not taking it too seriously, you genuinely don't care about her perception of your age, and you could confidently just state your age, and then maybe you even tease her a little bit on how young she is, because she is, if you're 35 and she's 25, dude, you got 10 years of experience over her. 10 years of experience, 20 years of experience, 30 years of experience. For my middle-aged and older dudes, you just need to stick to your self-development journey, man. It gets better with time if you stick to these things. Do not give up on these things. Do not think it's too late. You just need to get on your shit. That's the middle age, and that also goes for the older men. The one difference between the middle and the older men, if you're the older guy, you may need to take your appearance more seriously too. Because as an older dude, you could really let your whole physical appearance go to complete shit. But if you actually lost weight, you started hitting the gym, you put 1 to 2 years into the gym and you get a good physique, right? There's a dude in the gym right now that's like 61. I was just there with him. 61 years old. He's in there every morning with me. His whole body is built exactly like mine. His face is just a little bit more aged, right? But like if you take care of your body, you can start losing weight right now. You need to get lean, you need to hit the gym. If you want to be with younger women, dude, you need to have somewhat of a youthful appearance. You don't need to be looking 20 or 30, but you just need to show that you're handling your shit if you genuinely want younger women than you. All right, even just in general, even if you don't want younger women, you got to hit the gym, man. You got to eat clean food. Okay, so that's the first part, is you got to take care of your appearance, the way you dress, and the way you communicate. You need to have that frame that says like, I'm not ashamed or embarrassed about my age. All right, the older dudes, you may need to put a little bit more time in your physical appearance, especially if you're late 30s, 40s, 50s, and you're looking aged. Dude, get that shit handled, man. Get a nice little skin fade on the sides. Shave your head. If you're balding, just shave the whole thing and get lean. You will look better lean. If you could grow a beard, you'll look good with that, with the bald look. That's fine. If you're lean, you got a little bit of muscle, you got a beard, or you're clean shaven and you have to shave your head, dude, you will still look attractive. Trust me. Get a good skincare routine going and really take care of yourself. I look better when I'm lightweight, lean, and when I'm fat, I look more aged. And when I'm not groomed, I look more aged. So it's the way you present yourself. And then most importantly, it's the way you run the interaction with these women, okay? Coming from the right place with the right frame, not falling into her frame, being weak, insecure about your age, but instead being confident, having certainty, showing the girl you're not gonna really take her shit, which indicates you're actually a good leader, right? Like if you're an older dude, you need to have these elements in place, okay? But I can tell you guys, as a dude, if you keep working on your self-development journey, it's only gonna get more and more fruitful. And if you're 40, 50, 60 and you're watching this, put in at least 1 to 2 years into these categories and you could still live an extremely fruitful dating life, man. Trust me, it's only gonna get better. If you want help trying to fast track that process, guys, click the button below, check out the brand new coaching program. I'm here to help you guys. Comes with a 30-minute one-on-one onboarding call directly with me. Daily live coaching calls every single day directly with me. You can surround yourself with like-minded dudes. The community's popping. I got dudes in there that are 20, 17, but I got dudes in there that are 40, 50, and 62 years old. Doesn't matter what age you are. It's not too late to make a change at this part of your life, all right? Click the button below, get inside the program. That's all for today, fellas. Let's turn up. I'll see you tomorrow.